Today's parents must be brave parents to protect their kids from being misled by the media, educators, and their peers. That's the warning from author and columnist Mary Beth Hicks. In her new book, Don't Let the Kids Drink the Kool-Aid, confronting the left's assault on our families, faith, and freedom, she sounds the alarm on the views of the next generation. Hicks reports that frightening percentages of our children believe that socialism is better than the free market. Christianity is judgmental, America is the villain of world history, and family does not mean marriage. She says parents must work to reset their children's moral compass so they have the strong character and values needed to lead our nation into the future. If not, she says, we'll soon wake up in a very different America, a far cry from the land of the free.
You remember the horrible story of Jim Jones in Jonesville, where the people drank poisonous Kool-Aid and they all died. So the title of this book is called Don't Let the Kids Drink the Kool-Aid. Mary Beth Hicks is here with us. What is the poison that they're being fed?
Oh, there's so much of it, Pat. It's kind of coming on two fronts. On the one hand, they're working very hard to undermine what traditionally our children know as family, faith, and freedom. So they're not teaching kids about civics. They're redefining what it means to be a family for our children's generation, and really undermining all the ways in which we'd like to teach our children about God and about our faith.
Who is the they?
The they. The they is the radical left. So it's not your garden variety Democrat voter, but the radical left, the people that Robert Gibbs, former press secretary for Obama, called the professional left, but people who work in education and media, who are part of pop culture, who really are singing to our children with one note.
I mean, hey, we're the majority, silent or otherwise. How come this little coterie of people gets control?
I think that for many years, those of us who are more traditional, more conservative, have kind of thought, well, we'll just build a hedge of protection around our homes and our children, and we'll teach our kids what we can. But the left has followed us home. And so as a parent, a mother of 4 children myself, and a columnist for many years now, I've been writing and seeing how these things are happening to us, the lessons our kids are getting from school and from the media that they watch. And you're almost in a constant state of correcting kids and telling them, well, you know, there's another side of this. So my daughter comes home and watches a movie at school called The Human Footprint, which is from National Geographic. It should have been called The Big, Bad, Evil, Anti-American, Anti-Capitalist Footprint. Yeah. But it's that sort of presented in science class as part of the science curriculum.
Well, you know, little children, God bless them, they're very obedient and they want to listen to authority, and if their teacher says it, it has to be true, and they know more than mom and dad does, and it's really tough to be a parent against that, isn't it?
It is, and also you just don't even necessarily know what's happening in the classroom, and people are busy and they're doing the best they can to keep up. After reading the book, my sister even asked her daughter, do you say the Pledge of Allegiance every day at your school? And learned that they say it twice a year, once at the beginning and once at the end.
You're kidding.
And they don't say it every day. And she didn't realize this because she just assumed they were.
The caucus got defeated because of the Pledge of Allegiance.
It's happening again now in Massachusetts, in Brookline. I just wrote my column today in the Washington Times is about a group that's trying to ban the Pledge of Allegiance entirely because they say it might cause bullying. So bullying is the new battle cry.
Wait. This Pledge of Allegiance, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the Republic of which it stands, and this makes people bullies?
Yeah, because if you choose not to say the pledge, then your classmates might bully you, so we should just ban it altogether. That's what they're saying up there. But that's the sort of thing I'm talking about, and that's what the Kool-Aid book talks about. So not only is the left undermining what we're trying to teach our children about family, faith, and freedom, but they're filling them up instead with all kinds of messages about the gay culture, the gay agenda, sexuality education, eco-radicalism in our classrooms, and earth worship, and just the nanny state notion that the government's going to take care of you.
Is there a pledge to the earth? I pledge allegiance to the world. How does that go?
I haven't committed it to memory, but it's in the book. It's absolutely in the book. And it's something parents need to know is being used in their schools and being taught to their children as the sort of the new secular religion of earth.
These little children, little kids don't know anything about sex. I mean, little tiny children, I mean, they're in kindergarten, first, second, third grade. They don't know anything about sex.
But they're being taught all over the country. This what they call comprehensive sexuality education is coming to a school near you, and it is the children are being taught not only about sex and sexuality, but about gender identity, and that confusion about gender is just a normal part of growing up, and confusion about homosexuality, or questioning they call it, is just a normal development.
You know, there was an organization called SEIXS. You remember them? SEIXS. And what is her name? Mary Calderon?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, are they still active?
Yes, her group is still.
Are they?
They are still the benchmark group that puts out the sexuality education programs, and so the school systems across the country are going to them for guidance. She was the founding medical director of Planned Parenthood, and so there is an organization helping schools develop these programs, and they're teaching children from kindergarten on. Not only about sex and sexuality, but again, as about gender confusion and these kinds of issues, as though they're just normal. So they're normalizing all these things that we know to be not from God and not of normal.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that we need to, parents are required to opt out if they don't want their children to participate. But again, because of bullying, now you can't opt out all the time, Pat. You have to stay in it because it's part of the health education program.
Well, listen, I sort of felt we were winning. Have we lost the culture wars?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
think we have, and I think if we want to get America back on track for our children's generation, well, I say we've lost, but we don't have a strong voice in education, or worse yet, in teacher colleges and the colleges of education across the country, which are some of the most radically liberal places in the academy. We're not there. We're not really in media with a strong enough voice, other than, God bless you, here you are. And we're not in pop culture the way our kids experience pop culture. So without a presence in the places where our children experience the world and form their ideas, we don't have a way to influence them.
Teachers College of Columbia, they set out, I mean, I'm talking about the 1930s, they set out to change culture. There's no question about it. And they've trained thousands of teachers, and they've sent them out throughout the educational system.
And it isn't just public school teachers. My kids are K through 12 in Catholic school, but they've all been educated in schools of education in order to get their certificates. So, and you know, a guru of teacher education in this nation is Bill Ayers. We all remember Bill Ayers. Well, what he did professionally was become a teacher of education, and so he still talks all over the country to.
He's the man who wanted to blow up public buildings.
Right. He believes the purpose of
underground.
He believes the purpose of education is the doing of social justice. He doesn't really think it's about educating our kids.
He teaches Obama.
He teaches the people who teach our kids, and people like him. And so, you know, the KoolAid book is really meant to alarm people. About halfway through it, my editor sent me a note and said, "You are writing a very scary book." And, you know, I don't want to scare people so much, but we need to wake up and realize that we have to do more.
People are going to attack you, and they're going to say you are against education. If you oppose the teachers' union, if you oppose this monopoly they have on public education, you're against education.
Yeah, I might be against the way we're doing it right now.
Well, I'm sure you are, but I mean, but that's the charge.
Might be right. Yeah, and I have to say, I mean, it's not about individual teachers. My husband and I have been very blessed to have a number of wonderful teachers help us to educate our children. But I think many teachers are unwittingly kind of being drafted into the army of the left because where they're being educated and the curriculum that they're being asked to teach really puts them in that position. And then, of course, as soon as you get a job in a public school, the first thing you have to do is join the union. And they have an agenda that may not match your own at all. So. Well,
you know, the union, the education department was a sop to the union given by Jimmy Carter, and it started out at $10-12 billion. Now it's up to what, is it 80-90 billion budget?
Yeah, and what's really alarming about it is because it only provides about 10% of the funding for schools across the country, but the regulations that the Federal Department of Education is promoting are really having more of a presence in our children's school lives every day. And so, you know, we have to ask ourselves, we know that's constitutionally not a role of the federal government.
Of course not.
And our states and our localities need to have a stronger voice. But even then, oftentimes, the state and local voice is being drowned out by what the federal agenda is. So it's a lot to learn.
Mary Beth Hicks, ladies and gentlemen, don't let the kids drink. Hey, don't let your kids drink KoolAid and get poisoned, because it really is poison. And you've got to fight it. And you say, well, I'm too tired. I want to watch TV. I want to read a book. I don't want to mess with this. You've got to question them, what they're learning. It's tough. It's eternal vigilance, the price of liberty, and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Mary Beth Hicks, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, where do you get your book, by the way?
Available at places where good books are sold, and Amazon and
Amazon
online.
sells millions of books to eager people just like you. All right.